Welcome, Samantha. Welcome, James.
Hey, Olga.
I am super excited right now. Really, the energy is like pouring out of my skin right now. That I'm really
Very good
excited
vibe.
to have both of you here today on this show.
Thank you.
James, we know each other for
15 years.
15 years now, and every time we talk and we brainstorm, we always have like behind the scenes coaching sessions 101, right, James?
We always have that, we help each other out, we lift each other's
Yes,
spirits.
which we lift each
Yes.
other's
Nice.
spirit. And so when James decided that where he was no longer his journey and he decided to move on, I'm not going to mention company names. I was his biggest supporter, right? And I said to you, look, if you feel internally with your gut that it's time for you to move on, then you do it.
Yeah.
And then he
I did.
took a step in the right direction
yeah, so-
where,
yeah.
there was some turbulence in between, I should say.
It's part of the journey.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
part of
and
the
I
journey.
remember very well when he called me and he said, hey, Olga, I just need to tell you, whatever we recorded last time, I don't need you to post. I said, wow, really? What's the story? And he says, I'm rerouting my direction. And
That's right.
I am super excited to now officially and formally announce Cliffco Mortgage Bankers
Yes.
is being the official brand behind James's identity.
Yes.
And he went through that specific moment in life where he had to really make a decision.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, those days when I was talking to you, I'm going to tell you this right now, publicly, openly. I spoke to Adam and I said, may God help him. Because I felt that you were not in emotional, very good space during that moment.
Not gonna lie, it was probably one
It
of
was
the
one of the
tough.
toughest
Yeah,
moments.
yeah. But
And
well,
so-
let's focus on the positive.
Yes, let's focus on the positives. And now is the day where we could officially make the breaking news announcement
yes.
that I was dreaming to do for
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate that.
To announce you to my audience, to
Yes.
my listeners,
Yeah.
that you now, James Chen, who serviced a lot of my clients, that a lot of people know you,
Yes.
that you are officially now with Cliffco Mortgage.
Yes.
And it gives you the opportunity now to be on completely different scale and to maybe override certain things or maybe really make certain exceptions, I should say.
Yes.
Right? When I reach out and ask, can this be a special exception? And I'm sure that you could definitely navigate that in a much different level.
In the
But I'm
compliance way, of course.
Exactly. But I'm super excited to make a formal announcement that James Chen right now is with Cliffco Mortgage.
Yes.
And, we were very excited to do this together. And today is the day where
Yeah.
you could make your formal announcements.
Thank you for inviting
Take it away.
me. Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it, Olga. Always value your friendship, your professionalism. So thank you so much. I just had to say that out there. I resigned from Citizens, and now I'm officially with Cliffco Mortgage. I'm with my former boss, Ace Wantana Supar. Been with him for 12 years. We're a great team. He's my mentor. He's my friend. He's
Ace is a powerhouse.
Yes, absolutely. He's a brother to me, and I'm just happy to be realigned with him and helping him grow this company together. I'm there as a senior loan officer, but also as a partner, and I also have my team that's with me, and we do full documentation loan, 1 to 4 family, co-ops condo. In addition, we also do non-QM loans. Non-QM loans are for customers who are self-employed. Who doesn't want to provide certain documentation. Let's just put it like
My
that.
dream became a reality.
Yes. And we also do commercials. Cliffco, we also have our in-house product. We do bridge loans. We do construction for investor loans. Those are huge. It's our own in-house guidelines. So in a way, I can actually assist more clients than before while I was a Citizens. I get to cover both of the two worlds because back then, when you call me up and say, "Hey James, this customer they prefer not to show you, their tax return," what I always do, I always have to tell
Refer
you,
it out.
Yeah, I always have to tell them, tell you or tell the clients to say, "Hey, call so and so." But now I will
Now
be
it's
able
in-house.
to in-house. I'll be able to take care of those customers and myself.
I'm very
and,
happy.
And we get to structure the way that it should be done, correctly
Nice,
done.
nice.
And that's the new platform, which I'm very excited.
Awesome. Well, having the collaboration with Samantha, who is with Credit Repair Boss, who you guided me to connect with, which I truly appreciate with, Samantha, we had an amazing episode right now. We touched upon so many different topics, including student loans, including bankruptcies, and including so many different ideas. It was just really, to me, it was priceless. As a professional, I find both of your knowledge, expertise, and information is priceless. Because when you need something, you can't just Google it, right? Like you probably
Especially
can Google
credit. There's so much misinformation nowadays. You
but
need someone
every
like,
case is so case by case is individual.
Yeah.
And I personally believe that when you have the right professional by your side, and when you could just call them and say, hey, look, Samantha, this is what I'm going through. You know, do you think it's a good approach? Do you think it's a good idea? To me, I think sometimes it's all about the matter of time, right? Sometimes people just need maybe a day or 3 or a week or maybe a month until they figure things out. And then they put everything into perspective, and then they start to pay off a little bit, and they start to putting themselves in direction where it becomes more and more easier for them to start seeing the light in the tunnel, right? But I think that having the right professionals like Samantha and like you, James, I think it's priceless. And this is what I would like to bring to my audience.
Of course.
This is what I would like to bring to my clientele, is who is maybe in a position where they're ready now, and maybe it took them a while to be ready, to get ready. And some people are on their journey. And so I think having those episodes and having those experiences, life experience and sharing, it's I think very, very important.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, by educating them, giving them the option, they can make a better decision. Because if you're not ready to purchase this year, right now, doesn't mean that you're not ready to purchase 6 months or a year down the road, right? You're having a bank like Mike before, the gentleman that you had on your show earlier, he mentioned that he had a bankruptcy, but that doesn't mean that he cannot get a mortgage anymore, right? There are certain things that you need to do to reach out to a professional to help you guide through the way, and that's what we're here for.
How do you two work together? What happens in between you two when crises come in?
So I always get a call first, from either from you or other, referral partner I work with. And if they have some issues on the credit,
Samantha is the go-to person.
She's the go-to person. I have a few cases where I work with her. I thought the deal was not going to go through, but she came through and she gave the customer the right information. She guided the right, based on what needs to be done. And the rest was history. One customer, I can tell you, from the time I ran his credit and then when he signed a contract, a collection popped up out of nowhere. And that was, I think, in a month or 2 months, 2 months period. Pop up. And his interest rate would have jumped by 0.75%.
He wouldn't be able to afford the payments.
He could, but he just, but it's crazy. And it was only for $68 on the Verizon collection, which I think it was not even his or something, or he paid it off.
Yeah, it was paid.
Yeah, she jumped right in. A month later,
So it was paid, but it was still reported?
Yes.
Why?
Well, he wasn't, no. Well, what happened was he wasn't aware of it. So as soon as he found out, he went to pay. But I think you have to know that the bureaus also take time to update everything.
To file the updates.
Right. So James and I were in communication quite often during that time, because I always asked James, okay, what's baseline? Where's the score that we want to be? Where are you at in the process? Will you be able to run credit at this time? So then I can come up with a game plan on what exactly needs to be done to get the score exactly where it needs to be. So James and I were talking a lot. I always try to give updates when I can and say, hey, the score is here. Can you wait a week? Can you do this? Yeah. And we're always talking to each other.
So none of these problems that people think are problems unless they're ready, willing, and able, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
I have some clients that call me, and I think because I repeat myself over and over on every episode, and I use this terminology a lot, ready, willing, and able. And so it's like, it's like a child. They call me and they say, what did you say? Ready, willing, and what? So it's so cute. But I feel like if people really in a position where they have the thought that's coming in, because I think universe is giving us the ideas, right? Yeah. And nothing comes into our mind unless the idea is possible to execute.
Yes.
So if the idea comes into mind, don't just hesitate, just call, right? Because we're here to not judge anybody. We're here to help you. We're not here to walk into someone's home and say, oh my gosh, you live like a hoarder. And I'm so used to going into people's houses. I never judge by the way they live.
Yeah.
Right.
I go to people's homes just to kind of like, look, oh my God, beyond to what I see right now, what could be done? And the same applies to people's credit, and the same applies to people's financial situations. I think people really should be in a position where they should be open-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open-minded. And when you're sitting and just kind of like putting yourself in a position, oh my God, I'm not going to call Samantha because my credit is so-and-so and I filed for bankruptcy 7 years ago, probably I will not be able to qualify with James to get a mortgage. Well, don't hold back.
Yeah.
Just call. Just find out
Yeah.
what are the new programs, because there is new programs coming out.
Right.
As the rates and feds continue to increase the rates, and what do you always tell me when I call you? James, what is
about
the
the
rate?
it's
He always
about the
tells
payment.
me, it's not about the rates.
It's about the
the payments.
payment. Yeah.
So he's also training me, Olga, stop thinking about the rate.
Yeah.
Think about the payments. And so, you know, he's training us also and teaching us how to like stop thinking about what's happening in the marketplace with all the catastrophe that you see on the news.
Yeah.
Because if we watch the news,
Yeah.
you don't
my
want to
God.
breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all bad
It's
news.
too
You know,
depressing.
and, well, that's what
Thank
they
you.
get paid
Yes.
for. They
Yeah.
get paid to deliver the news.
Yeah.
And it's our job to kind of like dissect and see, okay, well, this is what's happening right now.
Right.
What is going on in the marketplace? I personally think the market is right now in a position where you have almost no competition. You know, in the past 3-4 years, we had so much competition.
Yeah.
We had buyers lined up in the lines trying to get into a house just to see the house.
Right.
And it's one house, one buyer. This is it. So if we have 100 people sitting outside, all these 99 people lost out
That's
Yeah.
it.
on the opportunity.
Yeah.
Now is the time
come
where
back
they
in.
could take a look at those homes.
Yeah.
No competition. Okay. Of course, you have to be qualified.
Yeah.
Okay. But you are in a position where you could actually have a chance. And so when down the road, when the market starts shifting a little bit, where the rates come down a little bit, you could always refinance.
Right.
But you are now not competing against higher bidders. You're not competing with 20 other buyers. That puts my job, your job, and everyone's job in such an easier position,
Yeah.
right, to work and close deals.
But remember, date the rate, marry the house. That's what it is, right?
Date the rate and marry the house.
And going back to the monthly payment again, right? You go into more extensive because even though with that monthly payment, the mortgage interest is tax deductible, and based on your tax bracket, there might be additional incentive going back to you after you file tax. So always consult with your CPA or licensed accountant or whatever. They're going to help you because that monthly payment is there. But at the end of the day, if you get to get that money back, that, you know, if you qualify eligible, that's also money you're getting back. Not to mention, you're building your equity,
Yes.
Correct.
right? That's the huge part.
Yes.
you
Not
gotta-
to mention if you have 5 kids and the 6th one is on the way,
You need the space.
you need a space.
That's it.
Okay? I mean, James, sometimes I see scenarios that I don't judge, but people were saving money
Yeah.
to save the money, and then they put these 5 kids into a home where they put a good down payment. They don't have to go with FHA or PMI situations, right? And where they were responsible to take the opportunity, raise their kids all being next to each other, but put good down payment.
Yeah.
And so that now they don't have PMI. They put in good down payment.
Yeah.
They don't have to have any kind of bankruptcy. Okay. And they are a much, much better financial stability,
Right.
which then puts you and me and everybody that's servicing them in such a wonderful position. So now they bought a house, and then next they go to Samantha, and then she guides them to better and bigger investments, right? Is that what you do
Yeah.
for your clients?
Yeah, I can definitely help them with that. So, you know, once the individual has good personal credit, there's so many avenues for them to be able to walk through. So whether it's starting their own business, building an existing business, or now starting to think about investing in real estate, we work more as coaches, like I said. So a lot of our clients are with long term, and we work with them from start to finish. So that's definitely something that we love to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I learned something from Samantha. There's also a credit score for business, right?
Yes.
Something like that. I didn't know that.
No, we
So
don't
if
know
you-
a lot of
No,
things that she
no.
knows.
So if you're a business owner,
Yes.
you need that
Absolutely.
business credit report or credit score to help you get a bigger business loan?
Yeah,
I would say?
exactly.
Okay.
So if you're ever in default with a business loan or you have a defaulted business credit card, that might show up on your credit report as well under the business. So there are a lot of things to have to navigate, but if you work with the right team of individuals, we can definitely help them.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Well, no judgment.
No
We always come in from a place of help.
Yes.
We always would love to help every single one that reaches out for help.
Yep.
Right? We don't like dormant people that are just sitting around and like hiding.
We give the
Just
guidance.
come out.
Yes.
Yep. And we give
Get
advice.
free consultation. Free consultation with Samantha. Free consultation with James. Free consultation with myself. We will be very happy to guide you, direct you, and really lead into the right relationships and connections that we have.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to start throwing, the professionals, the accountants, the estate and probate attorneys, those that do Gus, exactly. Shout out to Gus.
Yes.
Adam Sutton, right? The attorneys that we deal with. Mark Konhorov that we deal with. The mortgage brokers, the accountants. I mean, the list is priceless. The clean out crews, the dumpster companies. I mean, we could go on and on and on nonstop, right? And the staging companies.
Yes.
I mean, it's so many different brands, companies that's involved, and we all licensed professionals, and we always deliver good professional value. Is the last thing we want to guide anybody in the wrong direction. But my business personally, like Samantha you mentioned, and James the same way, we built our business based on referrals.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Referrals are the name of the game.
Yes.
And if you do the right thing for the client, they will always become your walking and talking billboards.
Right.
Yes.
And then we don't need to crazy money investments into advertising platforms because we just simply don't have the time because we are busy servicing those that have had the experience in the past.
Right.
And then reaching out with their children and their grandchildren and more opportunities to grow to the next chapters of their life.
Absolutely.
So I am super excited to reconnect with both of you here in the studio and to welcome you into Zakinova Team Podcast. I want to say thank you for joining me.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes,
Olga.
thank you
Really
for having
appreciate
us,
it. Thank
Olga.
you.
Excellent.
Bye.
Well, everyone, thanks so much for watching. Keep subscribing to our channels because we have really big stuff coming up. We have more and more episodes on the way. We will definitely do this again and invite attorneys, and we'll bring some past clients that have done had good experiences with us. Cliffco Mortgage Bankers is definitely your go-to source with James Chen. Yes. And Samantha with Credit Repair Boss is your go-to lady for all things that has anything to do with credit. Yes. Thanks everyone for watching. Keep following us, and we have more exciting episodes coming out. We love you all, and thank you for taking your time to watch.
Peace
Bye-bye.
out.
Bye.
Bye.